Welcome back to Carpenter's Touch, the podcast. This is your host, Junior Garcia, and today, if you're a contractor or you're a homeowner, you're going to love this podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about, is financing good for you? But before that, if you haven't seen my last podcast, right, it was about crazy clients. That's right, I said it, right? Crazy clients. So take a second, hit the link, go and watch it, and then come back to this video. So today we're going to be talking about financing, right? Is financing good for you, right? As you're the homeowner, I'm the contractor, and I'll speak to you on an honest level because I'm a homeowner as well. And you kind of want both sides to it, right? You want to know, because most contractors out there, whether they're an exterior contractor, an interior contractor, HVAC guy, they're going to offer you financing, right? Because sometimes a big ticket item of $20,000, $50,000, $75,000 that you want to renovate or fix, you do not have the funds now, right? So I think the best option is always to finance, right? And you can finance that ticket. So the crazy thing about financing is that right now people are offering crazy number financing. Contractors out there are offering like 0% down, 0 down, 0 interest for like 75 months, right? I won't mention who they are, but it's unbelievable, right? It's ridiculous. And
that's a real thing.
I mean,
that's a real thing.
It is a real thing.
Yeah, it's a real thing.
It is. So, guys, take a second, clap it off for producer Pete.
In the background, baby.
He's helping me out with this podcast and he's directing everything. But, in reality, that type of finance is real. It's not fake. Understand, 0 down, 0% or 0 interest for 75 months, right? In reality, who actually gets approved? You got to be at 850 credit score. And the other requirements are income to debt ratio. So just to give you numbers, right? And for all the people that do numbers, if let's say you make $100,000 a year,
which won't get you approved for your project.
I mean, it won't.
You won't. You need minimum a household income of like 250.
Yeah, 250. You need 250 combined.
For like a big, say, like a siding, gutters, roofing.
Like if you're doing a real big job,
windows.
Right. If you're doing a big job, let's say it's a $125,000 job, and they're out there, right? You're gonna have to have a combined income of $250,000. But if you're doing like a regular roof, $10,000, $20,000, you don't need that much, right? But the minimum that you need is $640. So going back to the 0%. 0 down, 75 months. Nobody I wouldn't say nobody qualifies for it, but I'm going to say a very low percentage people qualify. Because imagine you're going to take 7-8 years to pay off that loan, and you don't have to give a dime, right? You don't have to give a quarter in all those years. I think it's the best deal there. But when the contractor kind of offers you that, what happens? Denied, right? Because you don't have 850. So we at the Carpenter's Touch, we offer financing too, right? We offer financing.
What's the process before you offer? Before you talk about a form of payment, right? Before you talk to the client about a form of payment, what's your sales process? How do you get to the form of payment?
I guess, how do you get to, financing, right? How do you get there? So generally when we go through our process and we find out they want windows, they want doors, they want siding, we already know that it's a big ticket item. It's not just a roof, right? Or let's say it's just a small gutter job. So we ask them in a nice way. It says, do you need financing? We offer financing. And it's almost like a 50-50 split. And the 50-50, we're fully financed. I have liquid. I have enough money to take care of this project. And some people will be just that raw, and they'll tell me straight up, we can afford it, right? Other people says, something? I want to finance. I want to finance, Pete. Can you do something? and we do, right? So I say that is because the majority of people, Pete, that finance are people that have money. It's weird. You would figure that people that don't have that much money would, I'll go with the financing. It's generally not them. It's more people that have money, have security, and they believe
Using the
in-
banks for leverage.
right.
Yeah.
And
Free. The bank's money's free.
it's always free, right? So for them, it's using other people's money. So most of these people, I would say, these clients will get a bonus. Will get a commission in 3 or 4 months, so they know what's coming to them. So they say, you know something, the roof is $20,000. You know, I'm gonna finance. I'll take 0%, 0 down for 12 months.
Which is fair.
Oh, it's really, I mean, that's the more, across the board with all the contractors are out there, they're kind of offering that. The step to that one is 21 or 24 months, right? Anything above that is just like hard to get approved, right? It's very hard to get approved.
I haven't seen one more than 24 months.
Yeah.
I haven't seen one.
I haven't seen it either.
I know there are, I want to say 1 or 2 contractors that are offering up to 72 months. It's a little bit ridiculous.
It's out there.
Yeah, it is out there. And just keeping in mind that percentage, that interest accrues throughout those 72 months. So if you can't pay that loan in that 72 months or 5-year period,
Right.
you're in for a rude awakening making those payments back.
So this is what happened. It's generally the hook, right? Because let's say you take out a loan for $20,000, and it's 0 down, 0 interest, right, for 12 months, and then you just throw $1,000 the first month. The third month you throw another $1,000, and the 5th month you throw another 1,000. You're down to the 12th month, guys. You're down to the 12th month. You still owe $4,000. Guess what? Now it's the 12 months and 1 day. Now you really have to pay. You may pay up to double in interest.
Yeah.
And that is really where and I say it because I'm a homeowner as well. I'm a contractor, but my job is to offer you financing. But at the same time, if you can't do it, don't do it, right? If you have capital, physical capital, and says, I got $20,000, pay for the roof. If you have $15,000, pay for your roof. If you don't, use the financing, right? But the hook behind that, if after 12 months, boom, that interest rate goes up and they have you. They're going to get all that money and more for the money that, you borrowed, right? Let's say you go ahead and do a roof and Mr. and Mrs. Homeowner sign the contract. The contract is for $10,000. They're going to get financed. They're going to release the money to the homeowner. Homeowner is going to allocate that money to the contractor. The contractor does the job, let's say 1 or 2 days. They get paid. They get the upfront money. Now the homeowner is liable for that loan, right? So the one that's really going to pay all that incurred interest and everything else is really the homeowner. The contractor doesn't get any extra stuff, right? There are financing companies out there that I used to use. I can mention them. I'm not going to speak bad about them, but there is companies out there that their dealer fees and they're just ridiculously high. And that's why a contractor will come in and he'll charge you this exaggerated price for financing, and the other guy is like, why are you $2,000 less? It's definitely because of the finance companies,
That's a good point that you bring up because they also switch prices between a finance price and a cash price.
Right.
Remember, it's illegal to do it the other way around.
It's illegal. Let's say you can't. Let's say if you tell the client, and just to have the whole numbers again, you can't tell the client it's $10,000 cash, and then all of a sudden, well, we want to finance. You can't go up to, let's say, $12,000 in financing. You can't do that. It's illegal.
The price stays the same.
The price has to be financed at $10,000. So if a sales guy does that mistake, shame on him. He's really gonna lose. That company's gonna lose. But you always offer finance, and most contractors will offer financing, and then they can offer the cash discount, and that is very, very, very legal, because it does cost money to finance a project, you know. So,
I think it's cool that you mentioned that if you don't have the capital to pay for your project, just hold till you have it, or finance a portion of it and not the whole job. We living in a weird economical time, or we're no financial advisors, either of us,
Right.
right? But cash is king right now.
it is. It's still
You
king.
know, it's still king. Yeah. So hearing that from a contractor, I think is pretty cool.
I think,
Because you know, like, contractors don't really care.
no,
They're
we
like,
just want to get paid, right?
Yeah, we just want to get
I
paid.
want to get paid. I want to do the job. I want you to be satisfied, and give me a nice Google review and go to the next job, right? In the client that I have right now, I went to her home in 2020. I went to her home in 2021. In 2022, I didn't go to her home. She just contacted me back about a week and a half ago. And she goes, Junior, I said, let's call the person Susan, right? That's not her name, but let's call her Susan. And Susan, I said, Susan, I've been already to your house a couple of times. And she goes, you know what it is? My kids are done with college. We can afford the project now. Because she was going to go with financing before. And she goes, I have enough money to do the whole project in cash. I don't have to worry about anything. So my suggestion to you, as an honest contractor, if you don't have the money and you don't want to finance and you don't want to pay that extra interest rate, then wait a year or 2 years and then do it. But if you need to do that project because the roof is leaking, get it done. It's better to get your roof done so you won't incur more damages inside and drywall, and you have to replace the floor and stuff like that, or get mold, right? Do that, right? But if you can wait a year, 2 years, save up the money, by all means do it that way, right? But the purpose for financing is that you can take advantage of that interest rate, that low interest rate, and then be able to do that project, right?
Or maybe look into other options too, right? Like home equity line of credit
Home equity.
or home equity loan, not necessarily financing through the construction or through the contractor. Other home options are good too for financing your project if you need it. Like if your roof is leaking, if your siding is, the termites are chewing up the siding, or whatever the
No,
case
right,
is.
definitely. So I would say, Pete, this is one of, and I don't want to, at the end of the day, I want to do your job, right? Every other contractor wants to do your job. But the truth behind it, if you can get an interest rate from your credit union, I said that, credit union, and you have a credit union or stuff like that, do it. By all means, they're generally the lowest interest rate out there. Unless you have an 850, you can get financing through us. It's always going to be 0%, zero down, right? For 12 months. I hate to say, right? I was in Staten Island, and it's been about 7 years ago, probably 6 or 7 years ago. This client, they needed siding, man. I'm telling you. They needed the roof. They needed siding. Everything was coming off. They had like 5 layers of roofing. They needed everything. My heart broke because I'm like, okay, you need help. So they got contracts from other people, some estimates from other people, ridiculously high. I said, I'm going to help you out. I'm going to give you a good price. And I asked them, how are we going to pay for this? And they said, we want to finance. Sorry, we'll finance. We'll go through it. 5 minutes, you'll know if you got it or not. They got denied, right? After they got denied, I reached out to the finance company, and the finance company said, let's see, how much is the total income of the whole house? And maybe we can do it that way. We gave them that number. It still didn't work out. They got denied the second time. They went through a different financing company, independent from us. They got denied. So that client, she kept on calling me, Junior, I'm having water coming in my roof. It threw my siding. I got to change these windows. I mean, can you help me? I mean, I couldn't go further than trying to finance, because even though we helped her on the roofing and siding material price and everything, we really kind of was giving her the price very, very discounted. I couldn't help her. It was a big project. I reached out to a friend of mine, and I'm going to have him on the show. He's a financial expert. He's into mortgage. If you like numbers, you're going to love him, right? His name is Tony. He loves to talk about numbers. So I said, Tony, I have this client, blase, 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 blase. Okay, let me reach out to her. He reached out to her, and what happened was, I've never heard of 3 mortgages. So they had a first mortgage, a second mortgage, and a third mortgage on that house. Basically, he tried everything possible, because there's so many creative financing out there, interest only. There's so many different things, right, you can do, and that'll benefit the homeowners and stuff. They couldn't do nothing. So basically, to this day, I know they haven't done their project. To this day,
They have the materials.
they don't have the materials. They don't have nothing. They don't have the sufficient funds to do the projects on their own selves.
I think this is a good time.
Right.
This is a good time to talk about reaching the 1,000 subscribers, because you're
Okay.
giving away a free
Right.
roof.
I think something.
They might deserve it.
If they're watching.
As a matter of fact,
If they're-
tell the viewers right now. We
Yeah.
get to over 1,000,
So-
they are getting the free roof.
Right.
Tell the viewers right now. Let them know you're serious.
So no, if you, well,
Yeah. Tell the viewers, like, listen, help me get to 1,000 subscribers. This family's gonna get a new roof.
So if you help me get to 1,000 subscribers, I will do that client's house for free. It has 2 layers. It needs plywood.
It needs plans.
It needs everything.
It's
I'm
gonna put
telling
a hole in the pocket.
Yeah. It is definitely a well worth roof, right? It's definitely, I would say, definitely a well worth. But I have to get to 1,000 subscribers. I'm already up to 800, I guess, something like that. But I would love to do that. Have the camera guys go out there and and go through that. It's definitely, I would say,
Is this a client where, in Staten Island?
it's in Staten Island, and Staten Island has nice different section, and then you have not a
Like everything else.
yeah, like everything else, like like Brooklyn, like the Bronx, like Newark, New Jersey, a bad area, right? I think Newark is
Yeah, Newark's terrible. Well, no, it depends.
not all,
It depends.
because Forest
it depends.
Hill-
It depends. It depends.
Producer P said that, by the
No,
way.
it depends.
I didn't
it
say
depends.
that.
No, you from Newark. You're from Newark.
Forest Hill is still good.
I'm
And
from
East
the
North.
Bronx, bro.
And-
Like,
Okay,
and
so
North.
I mean,
The Bronx is bad. Bronx. Do you still wear a bulletproof vest to go into the Bronx?
are you serious? Now you got a Yankee cap. You got a Yankee hat on, bro. What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm just telling you. Well, at Yankee Stadium, I don't need it. There's so many cops there.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
That's the hood.
Yeah, is
Yankee
it?
Stadium is the
Is the
hood.
hood?
Yeah.
Is the hood?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Oh, 100%.
No,
Nah,
I mean,
'cause he
no,
only
no.
goes
It's
into
in
the
the
game, the stadium,
projects.
that's it.
Right. He
Go
doesn't
out.
Yeah, I
take.
don't go out. I don't go out
All
to
right,
the
go
projects.
go
Come
up
on.
go up the block to Girard and,
Yeah.
and go. Yeah,
Yeah.
bro.
Tell
Ogden.
him how
No
you used to
way.
walk that every day to go to school.
Nah, we're not even gonna talk about that. That's another episode.
That's another podcast.
But
So,
but
yeah.
no, that would be a good idea. I know you said you wanted to give away a free roof
Right.
once you reach 1,000 subscribers. I didn't know you were gonna tell that story. We didn't go over that in the notes.
No.
we didn't plan. This wasn't planned at all.
No, but
But I think that's a good idea.
if somebody kind of really, really deserves
Call her
it-
right now.
Her name?
No. Call her on the phone. Call her on the phone.
I don't have my phone.
Where's
I
the
don't have
phone?
My phone is
In the office?
My phone is.
All right, we'll call her after the show.
We'll call her after the show, but I can let her know if she may help us get to 1,000 subscribers.
I mean, she watching this.
No. People, listen.
She's
If
probably not watching it. She's probably not watching.
if people look, people are kind. They like seeing acts of service like this,
Right.
And they'll push for the 1,000 just to see her get a new roof. To
Oh,
see
yeah,
it,
definitely.
to see if it's real.
Yeah. Her name is Jeanette. I said it. Her name is Jeanette.
So if she's listening,
If she's definitely listening, she is Latina. Her and her husband very nice people. He's a hardworking gentleman, and she's a hardworking lady as well. But it's tough, when you're a homeowner and you don't have it. It breaks your heart, because they need a roof, right? And we remember we gave a free roof as well.
Yeah, during the pandemic.
During the pandemic and stuff, they would have needed that roof.
And the roof with Habitat.
A Habitat for Humanity.
Junior Garcia for president 2024.
All right.
That's probably not gonna happen. I'm trying to go
At
for.
least, what's it called?
Maybe we'll leave that for the next show. How you could go broke as a contractor giving away free roofs.
You can go broke, right?
Man, that was a good take on the free roof.
Right.
That was good. But let's tell the people. So what? Not everything's bad with financing. So what are the pros if they do end up going with that 60 months, 72 months for zero down, zero interest?
So I would say the pros, right? The first pro is that you don't have to worry for the next 5 years. You don't have to worry about paying that loan off, right? That would be one of the pros. The second pro is that you've just did all your exterior. You did the roof, the siding, the windows, right? The gutters. And you're living in a beautiful home, right? And then on top of that, the cherry on top would be if you're going to sell your house in 5 years.
Or maybe less.
Or less, right? You've already beautified your home. It looks beautiful. You already generated more value to the house, right? So now when you're about to sell, 3 to 5 years, and you're about to pay that loan, you sell the house, guess what? It pays for itself because you're going to get more money in selling your home, and you're able to take the money from what you sold and pay that loan off and also still be able to make money, right? So to me, that would be the pros. The cons, generally, you have to have a good credit score to be approved, right? If you don't have a good credit score, you're not going to get approved, right? The other thing is the deferred payment. So remember, interest will accumulate. Wall Street loves us, right? If you have a credit card, they love when you don't pay on time. They're making money on interest. Guess what? The same thing through a construction loan or through financing in construction. And I'm telling you the truth, guys. So this is definitely a con, right? That you're not able to be able to pay that. So in the back of your mind, let's say you started out with a $20,000 loan and it's already multiplied to $40,000. You're not going to sleep at night. I'm going to tell you, you're not going to sleep at night. So the contractor already got paid. He probably got paid his $20,000 for doing your renovation. He's out of the loop. He has nothing to do with it. The only thing he's holding is the warranty to your home, to the roof, to the siding, to the windows. But that loan, you're responsible. So I would say definitely the con to that, do your numbers. If you make X amount of dollars and if you make that X amount of dollars and then also, okay, I'm going to borrow the loan I can do it. But if you make this amount of dollars and you're trying to get the exact, it's not going to work out. You're going to be upside down. I remember a long time ago, it was my first not my first car, my first finance vehicle. And my first finance vehicle, I remember that the interest rate was like 16.5. It was ridiculous, right? And when my friends were getting like 3% or 4%, I was paying 16.5. And you know something? They tricked me. My credit score then was 680. And the guy came to my face and said, your credit is really bad. Your credit is really bad. With 680, he told me, your credit is not really good. I was naive. I was dumb. I was young, right? And I said, for real? I thought 680 would be, no, it's bad. We're going to give you at 16.5. I said, what were the payments back then? The payments were like $365. I remember because I paid the 5 years off on that car. It was a Toyota Camry. I paid it.
What year?
Oh.
1992.
I ain't going to tell you the year. You guys, see that? They hate. Getting back to the car situation is that people will definitely try to scam you out there. The good thing about most contractors out there, me or other contractors, they will have an iPad and you can ask them to show you a simulated price, and you can go up percentage, you can go up through the loans, you can actually see how many years you want to do, how many terms. You can do that, and before they pull your credit, remember that when they pull your credit, it's going to be a soft credit. It's not going to be a hard credit, but you need to go through that calculations, or you can do it in the privacy of your home. You know, I send people the link. Go and do it at your privacy of your home. Do it when you have a chance, and they'll go through the simulation, and then they said, you know something, it's for us, and they'll get approved. Generally, you're going to get approved in 60 seconds, maybe 2 minutes. You'll get approved real quick, that quick. They'll know if you can afford the job or you can't, right? Or the loan. So, you know, wrapping things up, I wanted you guys, you know, one thing, right? I want to invite the worst homeowner, right? The worst homeowner that had the worst contractor experience. I'm inviting you on my podcast. I want you to come here, leave a comment, DM me, follow me on Instagram, follow me on Facebook, right? And say, you know, Junior, I believe I am the worst person at the best, worst luck with all contractors. I want you on this podcast. Why? Because people need to know your story, right? We want to keep it equal. We wanted to keep it fair. We don't want to make it a contractor show. We want a homeowner's view. We want, you know, also a contractor's view to finding out, you know, what's really going on, because I want to know what's really happening in that person's mindset. And I'll share you my mindset of what's really going on, right? Are there bad contractors out there? There are. Dishonest? They are.
There's good ones too,
But
though.
there's also good
Yeah,
ones. They're
yeah.
definitely good ones, honest ones. You know, I have some of my competitors. Yo, I applaud them. Very, very honest.
Bring them on the show.
You know, not yet. But they're doing great for the community as well. They're doing good and great things. And you applaud them because you want good contractors out there. Have I been tricked? I've been tricked, right? I've been tricked by contractors. And that's why now I understand, you know. But if you can hear a good contractor's heart, and you can hear a salesperson's heart. A salesperson just wants to sell you down the throat. They don't care. You know, like when you work at McDonald's, you know, supersize that. Yeah. You know, I want an extra. No, you want a large? No, supersize that. Supersize everything. And you want an extra apple pie with that? You know, and they're not really listening to the client. They just want to sell. So, wrapping it up, don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment below. Remember, once we get to 1,000 subscribers, Jeanette is getting that free roof, guys. So make it happen. Keep watching.